Hello and welcome to the BetHelper betting preview. The game we're going to be looking at now is the first semi-final, which is between Uruguay and Holland. It's scheduled for Tuesday the 6th at 7:30 p.m, so it's the evening kickoff. Um, if you're looking for my free ebook, have a look in the description below. You find a link. If you follow that link, you can go and you will find my 20 need-to-know tips before betting on football. So if you're interested in that, click the link and follow the steps. So have a look at the Asian handicap markets now. Initially started off with the handicap being Uruguay plus a half, Holland minus a half. That's changed to Uruguay plus 0.75, Holland minus 0.75. Since then, Uruguay shortened. They're drifted. Now they're after shortening a bit. Obviously, then Holland have shortened and now they're slightly drifting again back to like where it initially opened at this new handicap level. So looks like it's going to be a tight one to call. Suspensions probably will have a bigger bearing in this than any other game so far that we've seen. So looking at the unders and overs, in Asia it started off at the 2.25 handicap, changed to 2, then went back up to 2.25. So it's kind of flip-flopping around between what they think is going to happen in this one. Still, they're not really expecting too many goals. Both defences have been relatively tight so far in this competition, so I wouldn't expect either to concede many goals. So we'll have to see. Looking at the fixed odds in Asia, Uruguay have drifted and they're after started shortening again, but they're still longer odds than what they initially started as. Holland then, on the other hand, have shortened since the Open, and the draw is drifting. So they're expecting a victory either way in this one, not really expecting a draw. Have a look at Vegas. The handicap here is Uruguay plus a half, Holland minus a half. Uruguay are drifting while Holland are absolutely odds on. The odds in Vegas are crazy on, even with the handicap. Everyone seems to be lumping on Holland in Vegas anyway. Looking at the unders and overs in Asia, it's over the 2 handicaps, so again they're not really expecting too many goals. So we'll have to see. That might change. The odds are kind of short at the moment, but they've stayed flat throughout, so it doesn't look like there's too much movement on those odds at the moment, but we'll have to see. Again, then on the fixed odds in Vegas, we've seen Uruguay drift and stay steady then, and on the other hand then Holland have shortened, and again the odds are quite crazy in Vegas. They're absolutely favourites. It's the shortest odds I've seen so far. They're at 1.3, which is absolutely insane. The draw then has drifted as well in Vegas, so again, doesn't really look like many people are expecting this to go the distance and go to penalties or extra time. Have a look then at the betting exchanges. Uruguay have drifted slightly, but then they've shortened and now they're back at 7s where they initially started. Holland then have shortened. They started off 1.71, they're now 1.67. The draw has also drifted at the betting exchanges, so again, not really expecting a draw there. The unders and overs, it actually started off pretty close between unders or over 2.5, that since has drifted extremely. Went from 2.1 up to 2.54, now it's at 2.5, so they're definitely not expecting over 2.5 goals at the exchanges. So far there's about 2.6 million match at the betting exchanges. Obviously that now will go up to about 15 to 20 million before kickoff, and then it'll probably go up to about 30 or 40 by the end of the match. So far there's 89% on Holland, no real surprise there. That they're heavily backed, but I think most people would have expected Uruguay to have a bit more support than 7%. The draw is only 4%, so I think I would have thought that it might have been a 60-80, 20-20 split, or 60-20-20 split even, sorry. The over 2.5 goal market only has 17% of the market, so again that's not much of a surprise, especially what we've seen in Asia and Vegas with their odds on the overs markets. Looking at the bookies have Uruguay drifting. It started off 5.5, they're now at 7s. Draw stayed flat at 3.5, while Holland are at 1.61. So again, no surprise there to see Holland as favourites. The unders and overs started off 2.4, it's now at 2.35. So again, it is shortening there, which is in contrast to all the other markets, but it is an outside favourite with the unders there being heavily backed. Looking at some form, so far in their last 6 games, Uruguay have won 4 and drawn 2. One of those draws was their draw against Ghana. They obviously won that in penalties. Still, though, according to stats, that does go down as a 90-minute draw, so that's why they only have 4 victories. And so far in this World Cup, they have 3 victories and 2 draws. The draw being the opening draw against France, where they drew 0-0, and obviously the 1-1 draw with Ghana in the last round. Holland then, on the other hand, have 6 wins in the last 6 games. Obviously, then they've won their 5 games in this competition. Their last 3 have been 2-1 victories, so that's a nice little bit of sequence there. So people might look to a 2-1 victory again. The referee for this one is Ravshan Nurmatov. I actually thought he might be a final referee, but we've seen in the past that the referees that do the semi don't usually get the final. So he's probably unfortunate there to miss out. He's been very good in all his games, and I think he's probably, in my eyes anyway, he's been the best referee. He's from Uzbekistan, if you haven't heard of him before. He's done 58 international games, 204 yellows, giving an average of 3.52. So he's nice and calm ref. He doesn't like to dish out too many cards. He's given 15 reds in those 58 games, giving an average of 0.26 reds per game. He's given 9 penalties, giving an average of 0.16 penalties per game. So that's he's nice composed ref. He doesn't like to make rash decisions. He doesn't overthink things, but again, he might have got lucky in his game so far in this World Cup where there hasn't been too many flash points. He's ref 4 games so far in this World Cup. He's done South Africa and Mexico, which is the opening game. There was 2 goals in that, and there was 4 yellows. He did England Algeria, where there was no goals, there was 2 yellows. He did Greece versus Argentina. There was 2 goals and 2 yellows in that game. He also did the quarterfinal of Argentina versus Germany. Obviously 4 goals in that to Germany, which shocked me big time. And there's 3 yellows. So as you've seen, he doesn't really like to give out too many yellows. So you might expect this to be a low bookings game. Having a look at the rankings, the ELO rankings are constantly updating from game to game. So it's a bit of a shock here, but Holland have actually gone into number 1 according to the ELO rankings. They're joint first actually with Spain. They're both in the same points level there, while Holland are 4th according to FIFA. The FIFA rankings have been in place for the last number of weeks since before the World Cup, so they don't change. Then looking at Uruguay, they're 16th according to FIFA, while they're 6th on the ELO rankings. So I think they started off in about 15th on the ELOs, and now they're up to 6th. So it's obviously with their progression through this tournament and knocking out some big name teams that they're increasing all the time. Have a look at some goals scored. Uruguay have an average of 1.77 goals scored, while they an average of 1.16 in qualifying. So far in this tournament, they've an average of 1.4 goals scored, while they exceed an average of 0.4 goals. Holland then, on the other hand, have an average of 2.125 goals scored in qualifying, while they exceed an average of 0.25. Then looking at them so far in this tournament, they have an average of 1.8 goals scored, while they exceeded just average of 0.6 in this tournament. So they are doing pretty well, and not as tight as they were in qualifying, but they're still doing very well. So have a look at some probabilities. The computer probabilities of a Uruguay victory only gives them a 20% chance, so probably goes with what everyone else is thinking, that they don't really have much of a chance. Holland then have a 69% chance, while the draw is at 11%. If you compare that then with the implied probabilities, according to the bookmakers odds, gives Uruguay a 14% chance. So again, that's kind of writing them off a bit. They're not really expected to make the final here, with Holland being such heavy favourites. Sorry about that. Holland then are at 62% chance, where the draw is at 24%. So again, we've obviously seen that draw always kind of comes in higher than what the stats would say, is there's generally not too many draws. There's only been 2 draws between the 2 teams in their 10 games so far in this competition, so you wouldn't expect it to be too high. Looking at some injuries and doubts and suspensions, I think the suspensions are going to have a big effect, more so than the injuries. Obviously, Uruguay without Suarez. He obviously did the dirty on and Ghana and got us that off. They're also without Fusile. Holland then are without De Jong and Van der Wiel. There's no injuries or doubts for them, but Lodero, I think he broke his foot for Uruguay, while Lugano is doubtful with a knee injury. So check out the link below if you're interested in the ebook. Look forward to this game. So keep the posts and emails coming in. Not many people post on YouTube. A lot of people are sending emails. So if you want to continue that, then please do.